Hi, Courtney here to talk about 11 ideas that you can use to entertain yourself, to fight boredom, and also some of these are productive and can actually save you money. The first one is to join groups. If you have an interest that you like, join a group. I am the member of the sustainability community, so sometimes I get invited to sustainability events. I've also been a yoga teacher for years. I often get invited to yoga events. They doesn't cost me anything or it's very cheap. My husband trail rides, so he is a member of a couple of trail riding associations. Those fees are very nominal, and he goes trail riding 1 to 2 times a month. And sometimes he goes camping, and that is very inexpensive because we already own everything that we need. I'm the member of a hiking group, and so sometimes I get invited to go hiking, and it's all for free. It's also good exercise a lot of times as well. It keeps me fit. It gives me social interaction that we so need these days. The second one is there is a better and best way to do the movies. My friend and I went to a matinee the other day, and I feel like a lot of people don't take advantage of this, and it might be their work schedules, or maybe they think if you can kind of get out of the traditional way of thinking of a Friday or Saturday night movie or Sunday afternoon matinee and start thinking a little bit out the box. If you can get up early on Saturday or Sunday, or if you have a different schedule where you can go during the week, we go to the movies all the time. It's $11.14 if you go before the evening movie and before like 5 o'clock. It's so cheap. And we rarely ever get snacks at the movie or anything like that. So we eat before we go, or we go someplace cheap if we're doing like the full on date. Of course, you can stream movies cheaply on Netflix. A lot of people will rotate their subscriptions or share them with other people. I share my Netflix with my children. My mom and my daughter, I think, share Hulu. And a lot of times, too, if you really just don't have the money, I've heard that Roku has a lot of free channels with a lot of great TV on it. I know that Prepper Princess, another YouTuber that I love and watch, I don't think she pays for any streaming services except maybe Netflix. She watches a lot of free TV just by using her Roku. The next one is books. Of course, we all know the traditional advice of go to the library. It's free. They have audiobooks, they have CDs, they have DVDs, they have all kinds of things, as well as paperback books. They also have a lot of events going on. However, they will also have movies that you can watch. They will show them there, and sometimes they're really cool documentaries. I went to one on it was about a father and a daughter in Japan, and it was super cool. But a lot of times at Target, they have a sales section of best-selling fiction and nonfiction authors, and they'll put them on 20% off, and they run about $9. I will get those every so often. My other favorite cheap thing to do is to go to thrift books. Last night, I wanted three kind of obscure books. My husband wanted to read them, I wanted to read them, and I'll give them to my dad. And they were $47 on Amazon. They were $23 on thrift books. And they're usually used. People sell their books on there, but who cares? And it'll say good condition, excellent condition, worn. And I don't care. I would rather use someone else's books and know that I'm not contributing to more consumerism. I am an author, so I do know, like, of course we want to support our authors, and if you really want to do that, go to their publisher and buy if you can, especially if they're smaller authors. But as an author, my book, I believe, is $23 on Amazon, and just in case you're interested, it's under Courtney Butler or Courtney Butler Robinson. I have 3 on there, and I write about all things yoga therapy, but I make about $3 a book. So as an author, I will try to support individual authors, but sometimes I will buy my books used. Number 4 is to do online courses or free Zoom webinars. There is so much free online learning these days with places like Udemy. I actually had a course, but it was for yoga teachers for continuing education. Sorry about my cat. I've done a few courses myself. I can't say I found a lot of value in the ones that I I mean, I've done tons of them, but sometimes I have to do them for work. Sometimes they're free. But tonight I'm doing a free yoga webinar. I'm really looking forward to it, and it didn't cost me anything. The next one is to style from your closet, your clothes. I have been doing this for years. When I was a young mom, we did not have any money. My ex-husband and I were in college for a long time with 3 little kids, and a lot of times I just had to use what I had. So I might get it out and iron it, or I might go to the thrift store. A lot of times I'll go to resale boutiques and buy my clothes, or to Goodwill, but a lot of times I just use what I have. I have a closet full of clothes in there. So getting ready right now, it's fall, summer into fall. I went into my closet and I put all of the things I could wear transitionally into one side, and then I made outfits out of what I could wear. Everything that would be going into storage for summer, I put at one end of the closet. Everything that could be fall, summer transition in the middle, and then I made outfits out of the rest of it. Made like 10 outfits, some for work, some for casual, dress up. And so that way, when it's time to go get ready, I don't feel like I don't have anything to wear. I shop resale boutiques where I often sell my old clothes, get a credit, and buy new clothes. And then I just fill in with what I need. Styles do change a little bit, but if you're not worried about just don't buy the super trendy, or only buy 1 or 2 things of the super trendy items. That way you're going to avoid having to get rid of them every year. Like, I have 3 pairs of these boots in this brand that I really love. And I have the black pair, the gray pair, and the brown pair. And I've had them for years now. They have not gone out of style for years. They're really simple and kind of chunky, and they still work for me. I don't need the latest style. I can make things look styled and a little trendy, like with my earrings or whatever. So, and if you're great at the Goodwill, I've never had great luck at places like Goodwill. I do occasionally enjoy going into those places, but for me, the resale boutiques seem to be a little bit better. And the price point is maybe $8 for a nice sweater versus $4. It's worth it to me by the time I sold my clothes and got the credit. Okay. Style your house with what you have. So go through Pinterest again and look up ideas of what you like. And then, for instance, I hope you can see in my bedroom, this is my carpet. It's kind of got the blue and the orange and the pink. And then behind me, you see the blanket and the quilt. So they're all in kind of the more neutral tones. I haven't invested a lot. I didn't change my furniture or anything like that, but I just changed like my bedding occasionally and my carpet. So find the styles you like. I probably don't have $200 invested in all of this. And use ideas without, like, don't go and redo all your furniture, but redo your accessories. And if you can, look and see if you can take items from that blanket right there. I just took out the living room, and I have in here like a little cream colored pillow, that carpet, and that bedding. I went through the house and I found things that were color coordinated, and I put them in this room to make it work better. So hope that makes sense. And then when you need something, check out the flea market first, in the thrift stores and garage sales and things like that. I do not recommend shopping for sport or for entertainment. That can be very dangerous. But if you need something or you're trying to style something, check out the flea markets. I did go online into a bunch of flea markets before I purchased this rug. And at the end of the day, last year I had purchased a rug. The lady told me it did not have any animals that had used the bathroom on it. When I got it in the car, it clearly did. I drove it straight to Goodwill. I decided it was worth $100 to buy a washable rug this go around. So sometimes you have to make educated or choices or calculated choices. The next one, number 7 is to find a support group. So I am in a support group that I go to every Wednesday night. I have been in and out of it since I was 13. It is for people who have families and their family members who have addiction. And even though I am not living in addiction anymore, I did grow up with family members with addiction. I did get married to my two husbands. I was married for a year and then for 20 years, and I'm remarried now. My husband does not have addiction issues, had some problems. And so when I got into those groups, I found them so helpful for all of my relationships. So if you have a problem, or there's a support group for a lot of those things. I wouldn't necessarily call it entertainment, but it feels that need for me to find an outlet that is healthy, and it helps keep me healthy, and it helps with so many of my relationships. I tend to be very codependent, and it helps me every week to not be so codependent. That could be said for going to church or some kind of spiritual group as well. You could go to church, you could go to the Buddhist temple and pray, or whatever, meditation, your spiritual practice, your mental, emotional health. There are lots of things out there to support that these days. Number 8 is to look at your social media calendar. And I wanted to connect that back with Find a Group. So I'm in a bunch of sustainability groups. For many years, I volunteered my time in the field of sustainability, things like Earth Day, green, clean energy, things like that. And I helped put on like the beautification. I volunteered for Keep America Beautiful. And so we did all kinds of events. So I'm linked into all those events now, not the app LinkedIn or the website, but like I'm connected. I went to my social media calendar on Facebook under events, and I had gotten an invitation to go to see a documentary tomorrow night at the library for free. So there are all kinds of things that you can get involved in. Check your social media events. There are so many free things to do. And, sometimes they are free, but they're going to have vendors there and things like that. If you think you're going to want to spend some money, you could eat first, or you could give yourself a budget of a little bit of money to go out to eat, or to spend some money there. But look at those calendars on social media. The next one is to picnic or eat on the porch. Just kind of mix things up. Get some candles, eat on the porch, pack a picnic, go to a park, sit by the lake and have a picnic, walk around. That is free and cheap and only costs you the gas and the cost of the food that you make. If you really just didn't want to pack a picnic, you could always pick up a cheap meal, some tacos or something. I am plant-based, so that is not as easy. But you could always pick something up and take it with you. The number 10 is to take a drive, go on a hike, walk, and see free things in your area. I live near a national park. There are tons of state parks where I live. And so we have so many trails. We have so many lakes you can go to. So many things to do for free and cheap. There are also free tours in our national park that you can go to. There are tons of museums where I live, and in about an hour away, they have nominal costs to go to. When my kids were growing up, they're all in their 20s now, I took them to museums, I took them to parks, I took them to libraries. Even when we would go visit another town, we would find all of the parks and we would find the library and we would go visit, because a lot of libraries have really cool things to look at. They might have cool artwork or exhibitions that are super cool and free. All right. Number 11 is my last one that might seem a little weird for entertainment, but this is something that my husband and I have been talking a lot about. So if you've ever heard of the Fly Lady, she's like a cleaning expert online, and she talks about keeping your house out of chaos. And chaos is an acronym for can't have anyone over syndrome. I love that. And so at the very least, keeping your house picked up so that if someone came to the door and you wanted to invite them in, you wouldn't feel uncomfortable about it. That is something that takes time. And a lot of times we're bored and we don't necessarily want to clean, but put on some good music, light some candles, open the blinds, and set a timer for an hour or two to clean your house. It makes you feel productive. It gives you a sense of good self-esteem. Tackle one room, tackle the whole house, however much time you have, tackle a project. But it feels really good versus hiring a cleaning lady, which currently we do use a couple of times a month. I still have to keep up with the daily stuff. She only comes twice a month, and we have a lot of animals, so that's a little harder than it sounds. The other thing is the yard work. I do not enjoy yard work. My husband doesn't mind it, so paying someone to do our yard is like $100. Doing it ourselves is the cost of gas and the time, but it makes you feel very accomplished. You get out, you get some vitamin D. I go out a lot of times, water the outdoor plants, sweep the porch, kind of wipe everything down. And the other thing is to go to your car. And this is in the same vein of doing things yourself. I do take my car to the car wash every once in a while. Sometimes I will wash it at home, but just to go out to your car and get a plastic bag and get all the trash out of your car just makes you feel so clean. To get it tidied up and tidy up your car, move everything that you want to keep in your car to the trunk. Like there are some things that I keep in my car all the time. I just move them to the trunk. Maybe take a rag, like a dust cloth, and go out there and dust the car. And it makes you feel better about your space. When your home is tidy, your yard is cleaned up, and your car is clean, you just feel better about your space and you want to be there. And I'd like to end with this. In America, we have, most people, if you're watching this, you have a computer or a cell phone or a television. If you have a roof over your head, you have heat and air, you have a car or transportation. We are so much better off than so many people in the world. And so enjoy those things that you have. Be grateful and take advantage of them. All right, I hope that's been helpful. If you like this, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I sure appreciate you being here. Bye-bye.